Hi everyone, my name is Cy Boyce. I was identified at birth as being the completion of the reincarnation that started with King David, Jesus Christ, Prince Madoc, Apple and Gwyneth, and then myself. And I was found out of the Bible and in a registered biblical code called the Second Christ Code. Nostradamus used the same code, and he wrote another code using Paul Naylor on, Hister and Mavis, and then he placed my name in that code. And in that code he also identified places and positions here in Saskatchewan. That other code that Nostradamus wrote, he tied in with Messianic Jerusalem, and Messianic Jerusalem is here in North America. So the center of Messianic Jerusalem is actually just north of Miles City, Montana. And here in Regina, there's other anagrams too within the Book of Revelations that identifies Regina and Prince Madoc. So Prince Madoc always was the key to get into the Bible and the end times of the Bible. So on July 10th, 2000 AD, that was the beginning of the reign of the second Christ. But there was a lot of other things that had to happen before that. In 1994, July 7th, I was involved in a head-on collision, and I was killed instantly at Finlater, Saskatchewan. On that day and on that month, the true magnetic North Pole was moving across 105 longitude, and King David left an old ancient map, which ends up at actually King Christian Island, where the true magnetic North Pole was at. So all of this stuff and King David's ancient map you can see on my website, but it was also used by the Phoenicians and Egyptians, and it's been used for thousands of years. There's also archaeological evidence that indicates that there was Roman colonies in the southeastern United States and in Mexico around the 7th century, 8th, 9th, and up into around 1000 AD. And that area was called Calais and also called Mannan by the Welsh. There's also implications both here in Canada and also in the Gulf of Mexico that the Caldi monks were involved in several areas over here and involved in these, well, I call them kind of colonies, which were basically ran by Europeans. So in the 1920s there was an archaeological find found in Tucson, Arizona, and several crosses were found with Latin writing on them, which gave a pretty good history of this of these colonies in the southeastern United States. So in 1170 AD, Prince Madoc simply came back into these old areas and found more or less an existing colony still around Nashville and Atlanta, Georgia, in that area, which was more or less taken over by the Creek tribe. And so a combination of him and the Creek eventually ended up here in Saskatchewan. The reason why Prince Madoc is so important is, to me anyways, or for me to be even alive today, is that the Vatican totally bought the fact that the second Christ would be born part Mandan, and as a result there was thousands of murders here in Saskatchewan in residential native schools of descendants of Prince Madoc and his brothers and the Bardsey Island monks, who all ended up settling here around the 12th century. So you have to know some of this history before you can even begin to understand the second Christ, because reincarnation was taken out of the Christian faith back in around 400 AD, 375 AD. You don't know any of this stuff, and Christianity is not a real legitimate, what would you call it, religion. It's not based on fact. And so there's really nothing more I can tell you. It's just that I hope you enjoy your life, and I hope you understand, and you will understand in the future, that all of this stuff is for real. The only problem that we're all facing here around the world is that certain organizations also need this biblical code, and they formed a type of antichrist to oppose me starting in 1999 when John F. Kennedy was murdered. And so that's why I always had to stay low key until now. So everything, all of my enemies have come out now, and everybody that opposes me, and now I can take them on head on. So thank you very much.